I'm gonna blast off. You guys are sending me too many goddamn memes right now. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Okay. Okay. Debate countdown. Will Israel invasion of Lebanon countdown? Felix in the building. Dr. Kid inspect dates. What else was I gonna fucking do? Dr. Kid inspect updates. Dude, I'm forgetting my my APAC takes out Bowman. Trump VP picks. Okay. APAC takes out Bowman. We lost another legend of those damn kids. Elden Lord later. Our meme leaked and is making a meta. What is this?
Should I make mine now?
Wait, what the fuck?
Hold on, chat.
What?
I can make this work.
What? Where's she going?
I can make this work. I think.
There's a coup happening in Bolivia. What
they got going on? Okay, this is kind of risky. There we go.
New Boeing breakdown you might look into. Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with all the Boeing breakdowns, bro. Are you kidding me? I know the two astronauts are stuck in the ISS, I think. Okay, guys, breaking news. A coup is happening in Bolivia. That's insane. Okay. I don't know how to like cover a breaking news story like this. It's like, it hasn't even hit like English news outlets yet. Bro, this literally is from like 25 minutes ago. Motherfuckers, when breaking news is happening in terms of like Dr. Disrespect openly admitting that he, is inappropriately texting minors, that's one thing. But when but a coup in Bolivia, well, that's not exactly something I can offer breaking news coverage to. I haven't even fucking blasted off yet. Calm down. Okay, Elden Lord later. Jesus Christ, what am I doing here? I haven't even blasted off. People are like, bro, you have to cover the fucking coup happening in Bolivia. Okay, I know Poke did it. I know Pokelaws did it too. Here, we're blasting off first. We're blasting off first. We're blasting off first. Okay, here you go. They lost the first group stage game in the U.S. in the Copa America, and now they're having a coup. Tough day, tough way to cope a loss, to be honest. Chat. You have to stop sending me fucking links right now about what the hell's going on in Bolivia, okay? I cannot dive into this right now. That's crazy. Okay, here it is. Here, let's blast off. Let's blast off first. Brad Charlie XX, Chaperone and Asana in one video. Happy Pride. What's this? Page not available. L. This is for my cockatiel. She's a fan of yours. What is happening right now? What is happening in the chat? What is a cockatiel? Anyway, here, I'm going to start off with this. Bill Burr gave a notey to NMP Law.
Yeah. Blue! That's way cooler than yours. Oh.
Well, I bet you his girlfriend's hotter than mine, too, so how about that?
And I gotta tell you, I did.
Make your car.
Yeah.
Blue.
That's my car.
That's way cooler than yours. Oh.
Well, I bet you his girlfriend's hotter than mine, too, so.
I cannot believe it, dude. Bill motherfucking Burr, Wilfred Burr himself. Also, I didn't even know he had an Instagram. Wilfred Burr himself. That is crazy. That's crazy. NMP Lol, who is NMP Lol and Milena, Hasanabi heads. Fuck it, Casey. 3 Hasanabi heads in one car. We are closer than ever before to a Bill Burr notey, okay? He knows you and doesn't want to hang. We're getting close. We're getting close. We are officially 1 degree of separation. We are officially 1 degree of separation from Billiam. From Billiam Burled.
Make your car.
Yeah.
Blue.
That's my car.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Went to my first DSA meeting wearing your merch and someone recognized that we had a good convo. You'll never foam on it. What? Bill Burr would love NMP's humor, unironically. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to talk about that. Don't worry. Fucking, this is crazy. Ethan had Bill on his pod. Yeah, I know. Anyway, here it is. Vorlo found the clip of Nick Merce calling you out for the Doc joke on his anniversary, which contrasts hilariously from his comments today of him acting like he didn't know Doc that well.
And, I think up until that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Here, I'll fucking repost it too. Fuck it, YOLO. 85K likes for defending Dr. Disrespect. Good thing that Twitch unbanned him. Who? Western culture is hilarious. If someone takes a 17 years and 11 months old, he gets jumped by the whole industry. But if that same girl waits for 1 month to sell her body on OnlyFans, she's celebrated by the same industry. 85,000 likes. Clown world. Yeah. I know why Sneeko is defending Dr. Disrespect. Are you going to ever comment on XU not going to Cutie's event but saying he was going? What? What? What is happening? Yeah. Chatter's on a Nokia phone. Yeah, 100%. Chatter is so mobile. Chatter is so mobile, he's moving around, dude. He's moving around through space and time. Do you understand? Mobile viewer drama farming from 2022. Respect. Respect. That is a new level. That is a new level that we have not previously seen before. All right, we'll get into that. We'll dive into the Dr. Disrespect stuff real quick, okay? First of all, Nick Merckx is now seemingly like removing his associations with the doc here.
We still don't know if he knew she was underage. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. He admitted that in his tweet. Yeah, people are still trying to defend what he did. I mean, even he tried to defend what he did in a really odd way in that tweet. Like, he said that he knew that she was underage and he would still text her. And the text, I can't remember how he put it in his tweet, but what did it say? That the texts would sometimes go a certain way? Yeah, he edited the tweet 3 times. Just so bad.
It's so Jover, dude. Look, I mean, he's right. It's Jover.
Bad. It's so bad, you guys. It's so bad. And look, what do you want from me, man? You know, I gave the guy the benefit of the doubt until we knew more. But look, it's unacceptable when you have just in any world that is unacceptable. You gotta be smarter. You gotta be better. You can't do shit like that. It's not only is it against the law, but where the fuck is your head and your heart at to do things like that? You know?
He's right.
What are we doing? Why are we doing stuff like that? So to act like I don't care or act like I'm not upset about the shit he did is crazy. You just have to remember that he was a friend of mine. So obviously I'm going to behave a little bit differently. I got some weird fucking attachments to this. You know, I do. He was a friend.
Wait, I mean, he's admitting that he's a friend of his. Wait, what is happening? I thought you guys said he was like distancing himself.
People think that we're like best friends, like we're hanging out. I don't even know the guy outside of a wig.
Oh.
We took one picture together, and newsflash, he was in a wig, and we talked for 8 minutes. Now I don't want to dumb down a relationship and act.
Look, I don't like Nick Merckx, but this clip is clip chimped and uncharitable. Yeah, I'm unretweeting this clip, okay? Because I don't think that he is like. I don't think that he's distancing himself. I think he's like he's distancing himself now, but also saying like, no, like he was my fucking friend. I mean, hopefully he'll fucking change his perspective on like random reactionary takes that he has about like trans people. But like during that 8 minutes, they talked about his wife's anniversary date.
And
I mean, it's still like they were close friends. Okay, the notion that they were not close friends is ridiculous.
I think up until that week, Hassan and I were pretty cool, and I know he's not going to lose any sleep over our relationship or anything, man. I'm not either. But after hearing him say what he said about Doc, that motherfucker's dead to me. I DM'd him as soon as I heard it, and I said, you know what? Have your opinions. We can agree to disagree. You can say the things that you want to say, of course. But you're going to go up there and say that shit about Doc on his fucking his anniversary, right? It's a guy's anniversary.
How are you a friend after an 8-minute interaction with someone? You think the extent of Nick Merckx's relationship with Dr. Disrespect is 8 minutes? No. Are you fucking crazy? No. They literally have been playing video games together for years, brother. What are you talking about? Like, they spend literally hours upon hours on camera with one another. They were so close that 4 years ago, Slasher specifically told you on stream that Nick Merckx has no idea what is going on with the band in order to say even Nick doesn't know.
And you're saying shit like that in front of all those people? You're just going to let that rip?
F Hassan. El Hassan. Bye-bye Lazan. Hassan got a fat-ass body with a small-ass head, bruh. When we move into kicks so we can play with Doc? Hassan, such a rat. Such a piece of shit. W. Hassan is a walking L. That Doc call-out was uncalled for. Haters gonna hate. He's a loser. El Hassan, Team Doc. All he does is prey on other people's shit to get clicks. He's a loser, or as Doc said, a fat phony.
Gonna let that rip? All right. I mean, fuck.
Just saying, okay? Just fucking putting that out there. Fat phony. Don't make me do it again. Don't make me fucking flex on him. Dog on top. Fuck Hassan. A lot of people are seeing who he really is. Ain't going well for him.
Yep.
Once again, right but too early. Right but too early. Always. Took a fucking year. We're there now. Okay? Hassan has to say what he said or his brain dead audience would riot. I don't even think he believes it.
I mean, listen,
Right. Just too early. Right. Always right, but too early. Remember. Hassan doesn't have bro code. Clout deep throater. He's the worst. If I was a clout deep throater, Nick Merckx at this point, like, why the fuck wouldn't I deep throat his clout? Why wouldn't I fucking literally just refuse to say anything about Nick Merckx's, like, trans takes? You know what I mean? These people don't ever fucking think. Ah, yes, because this chat isn't annoying as fuck no matter what you say. I know. It's funny because, like, at the time I was looking out for him. I was trying to be like, I was trying to be a good homie and be like, listen, bro, I see where you're going with this shit. It is not good. Please don't do this. Literally at the fucking time.
You know, like, I'm not fucking.
L Hassan, fucking pussy. What a R word. Hassan's a loser, bruh. L Snake Hassan. I want you guys to understand, like, that when you guys go, oh, dude, why the fuck do you have so many unhinged haters? This is why, bro, because I don't fucking hold back. I try my very best. With especially content creators, okay, who are like otherwise normies. I try my very best to try to like reach out to them in private and just like talk to them and be like, don't do this. This is not good. I promise you this shit is gonna like come back. I tried this shit with Aiden Ross. It fucking failed. I tried it with XUC. It fucking failed. Like, I always do it until like the last physical moment. And in that process, these motherfuckers like use me like a cum rag, okay? And just fucking slap my shit around over and over and over again. And then their fucking fan bases develop unimaginable resentment. I don't know if it failed with XG. It fucking definitely failed with XG. Your track record is looking bad. Instead of helping, you should consider actually sabotaging them so they end up doing the right thing instead. From now on, you should tell them to keep it up so they stop doing dumb shit instead. No, it's not that they don't listen to me. It's that they just like fucking it's just that like right-wing radicalization is infinitely more successful. Wait, you were friends with Aiden Ross? How did he deteriorate so bad? Yeah, go back like 2-3 years ago before Andrew Tate. Yes, I was trying desperately. At the very least, you can point to videos of you attempting to help them. Yeah, 100%. The second picture is fire. Is your magnum opus? Which one of these is my magnum opus? Yeah, I mean, listen, not every single one of these people is, some of these people have different cases. Every single one of them has had actually a sophibophilia moment. Some of them are pedos. It's, there's a lot here. There's a lot going on here. But, you know, they've all done some weird ass shit. Yeah, they will change up when they find out you're the next Clark Kent. I am not, okay? I'm going to clear up this confusion one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. I want to address something really quickly. There's apparently a new Superman. He's got a Zoomer haircut, and some people are saying, and White is on. Some people, Alex Press, she's a great labor journalist. Anyway, and you know, people have been making some jokes, so I want to clarify this. It's not me. Thank you for thinking I'm that handsome, but I don't know how to do this green screen thing, but that's not me, okay? I don't know who that is. He's a very handsome man. It's not me, though. Just wanted to address that. I want to address... this is when he told Aiden... Let's talk about Aiden Ross for a second. He was on with DJ Academics at the Fresh and Fit podcast studio, and here's what he had to say about Kanye West.
And I explained to him, like, yeah, like, you know, I was considering this...
Yeah, I talked to him about this. This is like this is post like downfall. But even then I had like a direct line of communication with him where I was like, don't do that. That's bad. It's a bad idea. Anyway, you want to cover the full Nick Merckx statement? He starts here.
I can't tell if people are more upset with me because of my comments against transgender people and shit, right? Or if people are more upset like about the doc thing. I can't really tell. Like I'm looking.
No, it's both, brother. It's both. You're saying protect the fucking kids, save the kids about random trans people which is inherently transphobic. The assumption that like trans people are fucking grooming children is ridiculous. While simultaneously, you got a fucking literal pedo in your circle, in your closest fucking circle. That's crazy. Of course, people are going to see that hypocrisy and be like, what do you mean fucking save the kids? The fuck are you talking about? It's both. No one is more upset at your transphobia than your than Dr. Disrespect like trying to fuck minors, okay?
Looking at it all, and I'm like, wow, man, this is what a crazy timeline. Isn't it weird? It's kind of fucking weird. I feel like they almost don't even care about what's going on with the situation, and they're just kind of like using it as like ammo or something. Like, okay, cool, man. You know, like what? Like, imagine not giving a shit about what actually happened and like trying to use it for like some little fucking point to make. Like, okay, bro.
No, they give a shit about what actually happened. People can have two opinions at the same time inside of their minds. It's not that complicated, I think. You know, these issues are ironically in line with one another more often than not, you know?
Got it. Cool. Great. Yeah, I mean, look, and then the truth in this all is that, bro, like, people want me to just fucking destroy the guy up and down. I mean, he was a friend. He was a friend. I don't know what people want from me. The guy was a friend. Okay? He wasn't my best friend. People were going around like, oh, he's your best buddy. You guys gamed every day. No, the fuck we didn't, you know? I mean, look, I will admit that he was my friend. And I had a lot of respect for the guy. You know, I didn't think he was the best guy in the world, right? Dude cheated on his wife. I mean, he said he was sorry. People can make mistakes, you know, but there's certain things that you do. And there's certain things that you don't do. And I mean, look, he fucking guy does a lot of crazy ass shit, man. I mean, this is crazy. Okay? So, what do you want from me? What do you want out of me, man? I mean, I said what he did is absolutely unacceptable. Anybody with a brain knows that. It's ridiculous. Obviously, and I say obviously, man, in caps lock, that we don't support shit like that. Why would we ever? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. It caught everybody off guard, okay? I mean, you know, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard all the way around, especially when you get hit with something like that. And prior to him putting out his statement, we didn't know what was what. We had a bunch of fucking dweebs on Twitter just spewing shit. But until we know what's good, I mean, we can't just say the guy's guilty of something like that. It's fucking ridiculous, man. You're not guilty until proven innocent. It's backwards. And that's happened a few times.
Yeah, he wrote me off and said I was dead to him for making a joke about Dr. Disrespect's marriage, a joke that he himself has made. Not Nick. Dr. Disrespect has made. My point is, here's the thing. I was never like super close with Nick Merckx. That's why he said like, oh, I'm sure he doesn't care. But like, you know, I like Nick Merckx. I thought that, you know, I could get to him. The point is, in my opinion, I think a lot of people personally think friendship means that you're supposed to unconditionally defend one another no matter fucking what. No, your friends are supposed to check you. And you know, a person in your corner that has your best interest in heart is going to tell you when you're saying something fucking wrong, when you're saying some wrong shit that is also going to be obviously perceived by the broadest majority of the population as like reactionary sentiment. You can look to the entire landscape and go, well, there's more people out there that are saying I'm right. But like, ultimately, clearly there is a standard. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just basically think like, nah, you know, friendship means like you have to unconditionally defend one another across the board and just like be a sycophant. That's not a friend. That's a sycophant, you know? That's not a friend. That's a fan. Will you cover tomorrow's debate, Hassan? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Man, it's been crazy. You don't want to do that. You want to wait for evidence. You want to wait for people to speak up or speak out. And then you're like, okay.
Yeah, nobody's coming at...
Now.
Here's the other thing. Yeah, exactly. Nobody's coming at Tim or Ninja at the same way, even before their responses, because they're not spewing his multi-phobic shit that he's been writing for a year now. That's why. Exactly. Like, that's the whole point. Yeah, Ninja, even before Dr. Disrespect came out and admitted it, was like, yeah, this shit looks really bad. I don't want nothing to do with it. Tim the Tatman came out after the fucking statement that Dr. Disrespect made where he openly admitted to texting a minor inappropriately, texting a minor, which is the most like That is going to be the nicest way to frame that situation, you know? Ultimately, the reason why people are fucking the people are carrying a different kind of energy towards Nick is because like he was almost gloating, you know? He was like literally fucking gloating all the way up and down until like the last moment where Dr. Disrespect openly admitted that shit. I'm glad that he's still not writing for him. Okay? Because he turned into Kick Mercs. Yeah. Like, but he literally was saying transphobic shit while talking about defending Dr. Disrespect a day ago. You know what I mean? Like, of course people are going to be like, what do you mean?
Now we can properly assess things. And that's what I did. So that's where we're at. And the situation's fucking shit across the board. It's just a shitty situation. Bro, you responded in the best way possible. They wanted to drag you over coals because you wanted to wait for evidence. Screw them. I think that he
didn't just wait for evidence, bro. He literally was like, oh, all these fucking attack helicopter, he, she, they, them, non-binaries are coming after me. Fuck them. Like, anyway, man, the dick riding in his chat is wild. I mean, dick riding happens in every chat, except for mine, where they fucking ride my dick in the opposite direction, where they talk shit about every little thing I say. But for most communities, it's normal. Think Kick is giving Dog a fat contract so he can now be bring an untapped audience there? Yeah, it's the same audience anyway. All right. Of course, Sneeko is still understandably defending Dr. Disrespect, but that's because he has a different agenda, which is, you know, literally just the agenda of pedophilia and defending pedophilia. Here it is.
He would make a great double date. I like you on the left, and I think Zerka likes the girl on the right.
They're both on the left. What up, girls? I want to kiss you guys.
How old are you?
Oh, I got that white bitch smiling. Let's go.
Stop. How old are you guys?
Underage. Well, you just
Like how underage though? Like your birthday's next week type shit?
Like we can't go to Starbucks, white bitch?
and I will be turning 15 in a month.
Ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, this isn't the only time where they've done this shit. This is like a Kick special at this point, you know, talking to underage girls. But beyond that, beyond the Kick special, beyond the fucking Kick special, Sneeko is like, you know, openly said unhinged ass shit. And John Zarka too. I mean, he very famously defended Cuties and was like, oh yeah, Cuties is great. Anyway, I mean, he's just like, he's a ridiculous person, dude. He's just all over the fucking place. I don't think he has a consistent opinion on anything, really. He's just a perma-contrarian. Zerga got caught up in the heel mic drama. Bro, that's not drama. That is just illegal, okay? That is statutory rape, okay? That's not drama. That is crime. At that point, that's just news, okay? News of crime, of criminal activity. Anyway, here's Willie Mac Show says, pretty crazy to hear your haters are terminally online while you're the one admitting to get inappropriate with a minor and whispers. Brianna Wu responds and says, I feel like this situation is a lose-lose because no one can see the logs to make any judgment on how inappropriate what he said was. So everyone is just going to go with what they want to believe. So it's all going to do is make everyone dig in. Barbarism critic says ontologically incapable of having a good take, which is true. Brianna Poo, once again, just, you know, taking the absolute dumbest position possible on every single fucking issue. But yeah, Dr. Disrespect's still getting cooked on the timeline on Twitter. Hell no, this motherfucker heard 40 minors. FaZe Banks came in hot with a funny ass take overall. Dr. Disrespect abandoned the persona entirely, dropped the act and ditched the costume, fire up the stream and play dumb, pretend like you have nothing to do with the Doc character and agree with the general consensus that he's a creep. Call yourself Mr. Respect. It's your only play. That's pretty... I'm afraid that's a banger. Brother Banks has done it again. Okay. This man, he's done it again. Okay. That's a banger. That's actually kind of funny. You know, you got to hand it to him. He knows what he's doing. Dr. Reformed. Oh yeah. We got the former Twitch staffer Relum. I saw that. So he says some wild stuff here. Where is it? Hold on. Let me pull this up. So I don't know in what capacity he was working at Twitch, but I assume he was on the moderation side. But he says, IRL streamer in Southern California, Twitch partner, former staff, Blizzard, and WoW GM, veteran CS player. Relum says the Dr. Disrespect situation. I don't think most people have any idea how bad things were behind the scenes of Twitch. I literally worked in the department that had access to most data and information. I saw private whispers, etc. It was literally my job to investigate daily. I saw things every single day that I wish I never had to see. I always advocated for being a good human. Always expressed with heavy emotion on my streams how Twitch let pedophiles run free every day, which is a crazy thing to say. I signed an NDA and afraid to get in trouble, but I have to say something. It's been bothering me so long. These sick fucks don't deserve to be free. Sorry, it's pretty vague. I'm literally afraid for legal and safety reasons. Apparently he was fired from Twitch. What?
Okay, so next question, because I saw somebody ask it, is what happened with the whole Twitch situation though?
Oh, bro, I can't really talk about it, but I can fucking burn Twitch to the ground easily. But I'm not saying shit because they're gonna ban me. They might countersue me.
Bro, this dude Relum is a creep too. I've seen entire videos of someone exposing him using his power over female streamers. Yeah, NDAs can't stop you from exposing a crime, for the record. The only reason why you wouldn't be able to come out with information such as this one is if there is like the negative consequences. The reason why people wouldn't come out with this information is specifically to protect the victims for the most part. I don't know anything about this Relum dude. I don't know what he's talking about, but like I do believe that if he was actually personally handling whispers and on the moderation team, he absolutely saw some fuck shit. I 100% believe that part. Because think about it this way. There are people in this chat that will constantly be like, yo, people are whispering me insane Nazi shit. And you report that. And obviously the trust and safety team sees that shit. So that is a consistent thing in every fucking social media platform, where in every single social media platform, the trust and safety team, the actual moderation team, the real human beings that have to see all of that stuff, see the worst things known to man. So I do believe that he probably saw a bunch of fucked up shit. Sorry, it's pretty vague. I'm literally afraid for legal and safety reasons. Of course, I report everything I saw directly to the authorities within minutes. Yes, Facebook's moderation team became suicidal. Of course, I reported everything I saw directly to the authorities within minutes. It's also highly illegal to save anything related to these cases. Look up CSAM laws. Let's just pray investigation is complete and creeps are held accountable. Thanks for the support and weird people stop. What is this?
It's wild, bro. I can't even talk. Can't even talk about it. It's so deep, you guys don't even understand. I was the guy who banned pedophiles, like stalkers, like all kinds of shit, right?
Yeah.
So these people would come at me all day long,
like this part I do definitely believe, for the record. Like 100%. Like, dude, there are so many unimaginably fucking brain broken psychopathic fucking losers out there. Relum is one of the Twitch employees Train gave $30,000 to. Oh, Jesus Christ.
my own family. I've been swatted like 8 times. You guys don't even know how deep this shit gets. I can't work there anymore. I couldn't handle it, bro. Okay. I had 3 therapists, mandatory.
Okay, wait.
Yeah,
Okay,
I believe all of that stuff 100%. If he was actually on the trust and safety team, I 100% believe that. Regardless of whether he was like weird or why he got fired, doesn't matter. Like, I 100% believe it. If someone is working on trust and safety team on any fucking social media platform, but especially on fucking Twitch, you're definitely, I 100% believe that they saw a metric ton of fuck shit. Why do I believe that? Because I'm a fucking streamer on this platform and I know the shit that I receive. Okay? Like things that I don't talk about. So yeah, I 100% believe that that he personally was getting a shit ton of repercussions for no reason, for doing the right thing, regardless of what his background is or why he left Twitch or if he was fired or not, or even if he got money from Train. That doesn't change that reality. Dylan Liu, founder of Tamu Esports, CEO of Uconnect app, says, just FYI, second part of the story still hasn't dropped yet. There are actually 3 parts of the story. Today was nothing new. It's just regurgitated news has already been released. I think a certain somebody will drop part 2. I don't know if part 3 will drop. It gets worse. I mean, this is ominous. This is vague. I don't know what the fuck that person is talking about. However, Rod has confirmed that there is definitely more to the story. As you guys know, I had a conversation with Rod Slasher Breslau yesterday. One of the investigative reporters on this that is, you know, that had a bunch of stuff that he was tracking down on the story, but I do believe that it definitely gets worse for sure. I definitely do. I don't doubt that there's something more going on behind the scenes. Just saying that there's only one other streamer that is indefinitely banned for unknown reason. I was wondering what's going on with that. I'm not in the business of defending. I'm not in the business of defending Destiny in any capacity, but if that's what you're insinuating, no, that's not. I would go so far as say that that's not the reason. Like, he does weird ass fucking gross ass shit in general, but no, he is, dude, come on. He is a serial toxic, like, he's a serial toxic content creator who genuinely goes after every single fucking content creator that he chooses to have in his crosshairs with his incredibly passionate fucking fan base. Like, he is a, yeah, you're right. A malignant presence is a great way to put it. Like, there are a million different reasons. That I don't think is one of them. Like, I don't think he's like not getting unbanned by the platform because like he's done some shit like that. No, I don't think that's the reason. 5 videos on this quote incoming from D. Were you invited to the meeting XQC went to regarding the situation? He said they explained way more shit. What? No, I was not invited to any fucking meeting. What meeting? Twitch had a high-level meeting with XQC? What? That's odd. That is like, that's genuinely shocking if that's something that they did. Like, way more shocking than forgetting to run the top of the hour ad break and then running it 14 minutes into the hour instead of directly at the top of the hour. You're being left out, my boy? Yeah, probably. It's shocking for so many different fucking so many different reasons. It's additionally shocking. It's additionally shocking because like XQC attending a meeting sounds really funny. Like, I don't think that motherfucker has attended a meeting ever in his life. Okay. Like, when has he ever when has he ever followed through on a fucking commitment? Anyway, all right. Yeah, he can't even attend the streamer awards. What are we talking about here? Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Okay, blammo. What is this? Hassan kisses his longtime partner Will Neff on stream for the first time in Japan. Wait, what? Oh, this is Austinox. I was like, Dixerdo? The fuck? Wow, Dixerdonox is back. Guys, I know some crazy stuff is happening in Bolivia, okay? I know. I am not going to cover it right now, okay? You're fucking crazy if you think I'm going to cover breaking news of a possible coup d'etat occurring in Bolivia. That is the nuttiest thing you've ever come to me with, okay? Austinox back to Twitter posting, but still behind on his editing? Yeah, I know. Too bad no more positivity year from Austinox. Hassan positivity year from Austinox. All right. Yes, I saw Bill Burr post a clip of NMP Law on his Instagram. We covered it already. You missed it. Okay. Imagine in a year we have chatters warning you of a coup being orchestrated. Okay. Let's get into it. Where the fuck were we? Let's start off. Where is the playlist? Oh, here it is. Let's start off with some bad news. New York incumbent Jamaal Bowman has lost fierce congressional primary race. Now, why is this important? He lost the New York 16th congressional district primary elections. It's important for a multitude of different reasons. He lost by a pretty fucking fat margin too. Okay. Now I've covered how racist George Latimer was over and over again consistently. Not that it fucking mattered at the end of the day because you, myself, the DSA, you know, Majority Report, like, and a bunch of other independent leftist content creators are not going to be able to overcome $20 fucking million of sweet APAC money, baby. Okay? It's just not going to happen. It's not going to occur. That is not going to be, you're not going to be able to put up a fight. APAC spent through subsidiaries, without like ever even really mentioning Israel, mind you. Okay? APAC spent more than $20 million in this specific primary. And the reason for why they did that is because they wanted to basically, they looked at the situation. They looked at all of the congresspersons that are like pro-Palestinian. Okay. And they saw one that was weaker than the others. Okay, Jamaal Bowman. Why was he weaker than the others? Because he had redistricted. He had been redistricted before, which included a pretty white and wealthier neighborhood in his district. All of a sudden, okay, and ultimately, they wanted to make an example out of one person. The other person that they're going after is Cori Bush. The reason why they are choosing these targets specifically to dump a shitload of money into it is because they have tried and failed with Rashida Tlaib. They've tried and failed with Ilhan Omar. They've tried and failed over and over again. And so they're looking at whichever avenue that they can tackle and make an example of, so that like other congresspersons will turn around and think twice before saying some shit about Israel, right? They poured a bunch of money into Summer Lee's race as well. Yeah, Premilla's sister, Sushila Jayapal, also lost due to AIPAC money as well. They're going after Ilhan Omar again. Yeah. What? I disagree about your assessment that AIPAC funding was the big difference maker. Even before the money hit, Bowman was fucked by redistricting that destroyed progressive candidates in general, even if it favored Dems. Wait, what? No. Dude, you're fucking crazy. Come on. I think 20-1 outspending the fucking... Dude, this is a historic amount of money that they dumped into this race. You're out of your mind. The reason... The redistricting put him in a... The redistricting put him in a precarious situation, which made him a weaker candidate. Okay? That already made him a weaker candidate. That's precisely the reason why they dumped a shitload of money. You're out of your mind if you think that money doesn't make a ginormous impact. What are we talking about? If that was the case, why the fuck did they dump $20 million into a primary race? This is a historic amount of money. This is a historic amount of money being spent on a primary by a right-wing group. AIPAC is a right-wing group. They are funded primarily by Republicans, okay? It was pretty clear that the redistricting was to defeat progressives over getting more seats for the Democrats out of the New York delegation. It's a major scandal that costed them control of the House of Representatives, yet none of the centrist Democrats seem to care that they gave national power to fascist Republicans. Centrist Democrats pretending that money doesn't matter in elections is hilarious co-op, shows how far right they're becoming. Yeah. 14 million was the old number. I think it's over 20. It is 20-1. But you have to understand. You have to understand, like, they went balls to the fucking wall. They dumped millions of dollars into this race, specifically so that every outlet, every TV channel, every radio channel, every social media platform you went to, if you were in the tri-state area even, you were getting hit with like 3 attack ads on Jamaal Bowman. And for the record, it's not like the attack ads were specifically being like Jamaal Bowman hates Jews or whatever. No, just because it was AIPAC dumping money into the race doesn't mean that like he lost on the pro-Palestinian position. His pro-Palestinian position is the reason why AIPAC came after him. But of course, when they were running ads, they weren't running ads on fucking Israel-Palestine shit. If that was the case, obviously, it wouldn't be all that consequential. The ads were all classic attack ads, claiming that he actually is anti-Joe Biden's administration, for voting against the infrastructure bill that separated the infrastructure bill into 2, which was the right thing to do at the fucking time. The fire alarm, like silly shit. It used to cost like $300,000 to do an entire congressional race, including the general election. It was only $1.5 million back in 2014. The amount of money spent is more than the entire swing Senate races in previous years. The money is insane. Yeah. I work in New York City and play the radio at work. There were like 5 to 10 ads against Bowman on every day on every iHeart radio station. The thing is, these guys are smart. Okay? They're smart. They're going to run attack ads on whatever the fuck works. So of course, if they were running exclusively ads on like Jamaal Bowman's positions on Israel, nobody would give a shit to the same degree that they will if they are diehard Democratic Party loyalists and they're being told Jamaal Bowman is fucking up Joe Biden's agenda. Okay? And that's precisely the angles that they hit him on. They hit him on every angle. Here is Daniel Marin's covering Peter Beinart's, who's great, by the way. Peter Beinart is the editor-at-large at Jewish Currents. Notes that while AIPAC and co. do not target Congresspeople of color because of their identities, their targeted candidates skew non-white because people who have a family history of oppression in the United States are more likely, not always by any means, but on average, are more likely to identify with the Palestinians because of their own experience. That's important. The third point I want to make about Jamaal Bowman has to do with race. Now, it's not true that AIPAC opposes black members of Congress simply because they're black. Well, you know, which is to say, if there's a really, really pro-Israel black member of Congress like Richie Torres, they're thrilled about that. But it's also not coincidental that so many of the people that AIPAC tries to destroy politically are black or other people of color. And that's because people who have a family history of oppression in the United States are more likely, not always by any means, but on average, are more likely to identify with the Palestinians because of their own experience. They're more likely to feel, as Jamaal Bowman did, a kind of moral obligation to themselves and their own ancestors to go and see what's actually going on to Palestinians who lack basic rights in the West Bank. And so when you go politically destroy people who care about Palestinians, you're going to end up destroying a disproportionate number of those people who will be black and or other people of color. And there's a whole history to this. It didn't start with Jamaal Bowman. You can think about Andrew Young, Jimmy Carter's ambassador to the United Nations, who coming out of the civil rights movement felt that he had an obligation to have a concern for the Palestinians and met a PLO representative in the late 1970s. There was a big pro-Israel outcry, and he was forced out of his job. This was a warning shot from AIPAC. And it's not like they hid this, okay? There was reporting on this for months leading up to this election that Jamaal Bowman, due to redistricting, was in a dire situation in terms of his primary, and that you know, AIPAC was looking for someone who they can make an example of, and that is precisely what they did. Okay, now it should be noted, AIPAC is a serial FARA violator. They are literally, it's a foreign lobby. I'm sorry, I don't give a shit if it's actually getting all of its money from American donors. Its goals, its lobbying interests are literally about a whole ass foreign nation. There was an attempt to make this Israeli lobby be registered as a foreign agent, a foreign lobby. And of course, they rebranded. This happened during the JFK era. They rebranded, and it, didn't happen. And AIPAC still operates the way that it does, as you guys know. But there is no it's crazy to think. It's crazy to think that like there are currently active investigations going on with the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, with Bob Menendez and Henry Cuellar. All three of these Democratic Party members, okay, Eric Adams being a mayor, the other two being in the House of Representatives and the Senate, like every single investigation is directly linked back to violations of FARA and getting money from foreign organizations in an effort to literally go in and argue on their behalf. Okay? You need to understand something. They're doing AIPAC shit. The fuck are we talking about? The only difference is they're doing it for a country that didn't properly register. Okay? Here's your tweet on Israel possibly having to register as a foreign agent. No, it's not going to happen, but I hope. How does AIPAC make money to perform these campaigns? Dude, right-wing funding. That's it. That's it. They got deep pockets from the right. They got so many fucking rich right-wingers that are unimaginably invested in the Israeli cause for theological Armageddon justifications if you're an evangelical Christian, or for military contracts like military industrial complex contracts, financial reasons. Like Israel is basically a fucking American state. The Republican Party's largest mega donor, one of the Republican Party's largest mega donors was Sheldon Adelson. His wife is now the largest mega donor of the Republican Party and a close ally to Donald Trump. Sheldon Adelson has made it his lifelong project to have a permanent Israeli presence on all of the occupied territories. He was an ultra Zionist piece of shit, and so is his fucking wife. Sheldon Adelson was, because he's dead. Miriam Adelson is continuing his legacy. Anyway, Zionists, stop making anti-Semitic conspiracies seem real, challenge, impossible, difficulty. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was so young. What is this? Have been quiet about Bowman, but here's my take. The redistricting was a much bigger problem than the AIPAC money. AIPAC spent that money less to tip a close race to make it appear that they can by blaming them for the loss. We're giving them exactly what they pay for. If someone is in a hole and you make it impossible for them to get out, how much blame do you deserve? AIPAC earned their credit, and I'm bothered by people de-emphasizing today what they did yesterday. Is the idea that AIPAC pro-Israel money is the only important if it tips a race 51-49 in the wrong direction? I'm genuinely perplexed by the chorus of actually from savvy politics knowers today. Yeah, I think people are like, people want to be, people want to come across as like smart understanders of politics, and maybe that's the reason why they're coming across as like contrarians, because it seems like it's too simple of a narrative to be like, oh yeah, AIPAC dumped $20 million into a race. No, AIPAC has dumped a shitload of money into other races too, of course, and have failed. The reason why they've never dumped this much money into a fucking primary was because they knew that Jamaal Bowman was in a dire situation for his reelection in terms of the redistricting. Okay? But of course, money matters significantly. Okay? It does. Of course it does. If it didn't, then there wouldn't be millions of fucking dollars being spent on these races. Come on. Like, I don't know what the latest data is on this, but I know from all the time I spent working at the Young Turks and whatnot that like there are studies conducted on this matter. Okay, I believe it's like 94% of races back in the day, and that number might be higher or maybe a little bit lower, but 94% of races that have been won have outspent their opponent. Like, what are we talking about? Like, there is no world in which you can. There is no world in which you can just like secure easy dub. Now you might say, well, there's other considerations here. Maybe people don't dump a lot of money into a race that is going to be lost or whatever, and that you know, this is a, you know, post hoc rationalization. But ultimately, money in politics obviously is so significant. That is precisely the fucking reason why it keeps growing and growing and growing. Money doesn't always equal victory, but it usually does. Sometimes contributions flow to the candidate who is already viewed as being much stronger than his or her opponent. Sometimes the money goes to the less well-known candidate and results in a surge in popularity. Even in wave elections, the candidate who spends the most usually wins. This trend is stronger in the House than in the Senate, but applies in both chambers. Like, sometimes less, sometimes more, but ultimately, I believe that it's like the average comes out to like 90% plus. Now, what's really interesting about this, okay, is what's really interesting about this is what the media narrative will be after this victory. And I suspect part of the conversation that's happening on Twitter is to like undermine AIPAC's influence and the amount of money they spent here, specifically because they don't want to give AIPAC a W, okay, to make them come across like a formative foe. But the other reason is because the media will run with the narrative that like, yeah, AIPAC dumped a lot of money here. And you know what that means? That means people don't want pro-Palestinian sentiment from their congresspersons. That's the reason why Jamaal Bowman got destroyed, because he was too pro-Palestinian and they considered him to be an extreme radical person for saying something that like the overwhelming majority of Americans believe, okay? The overwhelming majority of Americans are on his side on the issue of Israel, conducting an ethnic cleansing campaign. So the notion that this race was lost on the boundaries of Israel is ridiculous. Okay? Yeah, New York Democrats are a shit show consistently. So are California Democrats. Two of the worst fucking Democratic Party strongholds in America.
Most expensive congressional primary in American history is over, and voters in New York have rejected left-wing Democrat Congressman Jamaal Bowman. Bowman lost to fellow Democrat George Latimer In a bitterly contested contest, they were divided over issues of the Israel-Hamas war, and Scott McFarlane is with us covering this race. Scott, how many millions of dollars? This was a lot.
25 million. That is bonkers money, and it was particularly bitter. Jamaal Bowman, a 48-year-old former middle school principal, aligned with the most progressive Democrats in Congress, known as the Squad, lost support.
It's crazy. It's like, dude, I fucking hate this so much because it is like everything that I despise about American politics coming I mean, it's all of the worst elements of American politics coming together. It's fucking lobbying money. Okay. It's a centrist Democrat winning over a progressive Democrat. It is foreign interference from a genocidal apartheid state that is like openly dancing on American democracy's grave, basically. And it's so fucking frustrating. It's so goddamn frustrating, dude.
Support from voters in his own party. He'd been among the most vocal critics of how Israel is fighting the war in Gaza, calling Prime Minister Netanyahu a maniac and referring to the war as a genocide. The challenger, Westchester County Executive George Latimer, was fueled by millions of dollars from Jewish American political action groups. This race really raises questions about the political impact for Democrats who are so outspoken against Israel. It could change some of the focus of some of the campaign.
That right there, that's it. That's what they spent $20 million on. Right there. You see that? You see that shit? There it is. And the media, the loyal dogs that they are, will immediately start barking. Okay? That right, I'm going to run it back again. In terms of how much money in the attack ads went to talking about Israel, I don't know what the exact percentage is, but I promise you it is marginal. Okay? Did they go to Jewish districts? Certainly. Like Jewish neighborhoods? Certainly. But beyond that, the notion that this race was lost on the boundaries of Jamaal Bowman's position on Israel-Palestine is an abject fucking lie. The only reason why Jamaal Bowman's position on Israel-Palestine matters is because AIPAC put him in the fucking crosshairs due to his opposition to Israel. That's it. None of the attack ads were like Jamaal Bowman loves Hamas and hates Israel because he's a Jew hater or anything like that. I'm sure there were ads like that every now and then, but the overwhelming majority of the attack ads were things that Democrats care about. Lying about him, saying that he was actually trying to undermine Joe Biden's agenda. While ironically, this fucking dipshit was literally openly fantasizing about no new taxes on the wealthy. He is going to be a spoiler. He is 100% going to be another Joe Manchin type. Okay? Democrats, so fucking stupid.
Who are so outspoken against Israel. It could change some of the focus of some of the campaigns ahead of November. But even in this toxic political environment, there are new signs voters are looking for some form of harmony. Last week at Virginia.
Yeah, that's bullshit, by the way. That's absolutely fucking bullshit. But they're doing it because it's money well spent. It's money well spent, baby. That's why they dumped 20 million so that the media would turn around and go, yeah, it's because these voters really did not respond positively to Jamaal Bowman's statements about Palestine. Maybe the rest of the Democratic Party should shut the fuck up next time they want to say some shit about fucking the greatest democracy on the planet, the most moral army on the planet. How dare you? How dare you say anything about Israel being an apartheid regime? How dare you say anything about the genocide in Gaza, even though the overwhelming majority of Americans agree with you? How dare you? You better not open your fucking mouth. Got to cover Jamaal Bowman's insurgent campaign in 2020. I remember telling people about his energy, talent, and sincerity. It wasn't enough this time in the face of endless pro-genocide cash spent for Latimer, who will instantly become one of the worst Democrats in Congress. Okay? Here are some George Latimer's highlights. He compared the revelations about Andrew Cuomo sexually harassing women to Emmett Till getting lynched. George Latimer may have broken the law in the primary by failing to disclose his personal finances. In the 90s, George Latimer used his power as a county legislator to try and thwart a court-ordered desegregation effort. George Latimer gave his girlfriend, he's married, not to this person, a six-figure job under him as Westchester County executive. George Latimer was sued, and it may be still ongoing, over a 2017 car accident on a summer Friday. He was driving his Stavros car because he had so many unpaid parking tickets that he couldn't register his own vehicle. Very unappealing to look at as well. Yeah, he crippled someone in a fucking car accident. Great guy. George Latimer also said Jamaal Bowman has an ethnic advantage. George Latimer also said Jamaal Bowman is more interested in representing Dearborn, Michigan. And when people were like, the fuck do you mean by that? What the hell do you mean by he's only interested in representing Dearborn? The fuck are you talking about? And even also said San Francisco, which is supposed to be identical to the fucking New York 16th district. What are we talking about? Here's a 70-year-old AIPAC purchased George Latimer saying Engel lost the 2020 primary because George Floyd's murder had more black people voting.
We also had, as you recall, the death of George Floyd on the night of Memorial Day evening. That came 1 month before the election, and that generated a tremendous surge in the black community's concerns, anger, whatever, and the incumbent...
Are you allowed to say black?
Capitalized. I'm sorry?
Are you allowed to say black?
I don't know. I grew up in a black neighborhood. So
okay.
George Latimer also came out. If you want to understand how fucking like racist or / racially insensitive he is, even in the moments where he was like trying to fucking thwart the racism allegations, he would say things like, oh, well, I got a black guy defending me, so what's up? Because he had that fucking dog, Richie Torres, come out and support him. I think it was Richie. Wait, no, it wasn't Richie Torres. It was what was it? Was it Richie Torres as well? I think it was God, I hate Richie Torres so much. It was Mondaire Jones that came out and supported him, and I think Richie Torres did too. But let me make sure. Yeah, here it is. New York Democrats fight over Israel erupts into feud. Isn't Mondaire Jones sort of progressive? No, not since like the last election. Not since the last time he was like he had actual shot at winning anything. No, Mondaire Jones sucks. Torres told Axios in a statement that he has a general rule of not weighing in a congressional Democrat who has not weighed in against me. But he added, but Bowman's gratuitous attack on my character might cause me to rethink that rule. Stay tuned. In a post on X, Torres took aim at Bowman for pulling a Capitol Hill fire alarm last year, adding, his opinion of me is worse than a rubber stamp. It leaves no impression, much like his legislative record. But it was, former Representative Mondaire Jones, once a close progressive ally of Bowman, now running as a pro-Israel moderate in an adjacent swing district, endorsed Latimer earlier this month. Think Sertonox deleted this banger? What? Yeah, Mondaire Jones sucks. Anyway, here's what Chris Hayes had to say about this race. At one level, the take New York 16 race wasn't really about the fact that it was literally the most expensive primary in history is true and important in terms of lessons, but it's an absolutely crazy way to run our democracy. You truly cannot overstate how much money figures in the minds of people in Congress and running for Congress and how much fundraising dominates everything they do. To a first approximation, it is what running for office is. Yeah, Andrew Cuomo also endorsed Latimer on election day. That was a fun additional move there. The collapse of the previous bipartisan consensus and discursive limits is a catastrophe for Israel's position in the U.S. in the long term. AIPAC did not spend directly on elections until 2021. They didn't need to. Ben Davis with prescient analysis. But now that they want to fucking make it hurt. I will talk about Bolivia soon. Let's continue with this.
A Republican who frequently defies his own party got close and is now at risk of losing his primary. And today it's Jamaal Bowman, who voted against President Biden's initiatives in some way in the past 2 years, who lost Democratic support.
That Bowman race wasn't even close either.
Yeah,
Pay attention to that. Yeah.
So, Scott, let's talk about Colorado. Controversial Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. She scored a big win in the district that she switched to. I don't think a lot of Americans even knew you could switch districts, but what happened there?
She had a real small victory and a real big scare in 2022. And rather than run against the same Democratic opponent, she picked up and moved to a different, more rural Colorado district.
She physically moved?
She didn't have to move her home, but she moved where she sought the nomination.
Yeah, his district was redrawn to exclude parts of the Bronx where he had more support. The new district also had Westchester, parts of Westchester, like wealthier white neighborhoods. Okay, that played a big role in his re-election chances, especially in the primaries. And then they immediately fucking shoveled this piece of shit George Latimer.
And so some called it opportunism, but when opportunity knocks, she took it and she romped. And she is likely to win in November.
I was one of those people, Vlad, when you said I think most people don't know you could switch. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I thought.
God, I didn't know you could switch.
You had to physically move, but I guess
You just got to stay in the same.
And of course, Fox News, unsurprisingly, running a fucking pro-Latimer piece here in an effort to shit on Jamaal Bowman, but also shit on the progressives. Once again, bipartisan consensus can always be found. Bipartisan consensus can always be found on issues that pertain to American foreign policy. Okay, here's Jamaal Bowman.
People, what's happening right now with the backlash you're facing and what AIPAC is and the significance of them specifically going after you.
So AIPAC is a pro-Israel lobby. As a matter of fact, Israel is their number one and only issue.
I gotta pee.
They want to make sure that the U.S. continues to support Israel with military and economic aid for all time. That's their objective. And so anyone who is critical of Israel, they target and lobby against. So, for example, when I first got into Congress, I signed on as a co-sponsor to a bill that just simply required Israel to give us an accounting of how our money is being spent when we send our $3.8 billion over there. And we wanted to make sure that that money wasn't being used to detain women and children, without trial or without charge in the West Bank. When we signed on to this is a bill that didn't even go to committee for markup, didn't come to the House floor for a vote, was never going to even be sniffed to be passed. They sent over 1,000 letters to my office, forcing me or bullying me into standing with Israel, quote unquote. They shut down my office to the point where we couldn't even do our jobs. We couldn't even serve our constituents because of their letters, because of their calls, because of them protesting outside the office, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's just one example, right? Recently, not only did I boycott the president of Israel's address in Congress, not only did I vote against a bill that said Israel is not an apartheid state, Israel is not racist, I had the audacity to call for a permanent ceasefire, right? And so they recruited someone in my district, a county executive in my community, my district, to run against me. And they are spending more in this race, more in this primary race, than they have ever spent in their history to get someone out of Congress. They have a 60-year history. And they have pledged to spend $100 million to not just get me out of Congress, but to get Summer Lee out, Cori Bush out, Ilhan Omar out, and me out. Summer won.
This is why Bernie doesn't call it a genocide. They literally intimidate and bully anyone willing to speak out. Come on, that's cope, brother. What are you talking about? Bernie Sanders is not in like a remotely scary position, and neither is AOC. And AOC was popping off, and she won by like 80%. So is this why AOC cucked out the AIPAC? What are you guys talking about? AOC's also been calling it a fucking genocide. What are you guys? If you don't actually follow politics all that closely, please stop coming in here with shit that you saw on Twitter. Okay? These guys say whatever the fuck they believe is the truth. Okay? The difference is AOC is incredibly popular in her district. So is Ilhan Omar, pretty popular in her district, and has been in that district working in politics for a very long time. Rashida Tlaib, similar to that. They're just people who do nothing but cry on Twitter, who said that they were happy to see Jamaal lose because they don't have an ounce of power. I don't even know who said that. Yeah, AOC won by 80%, dude. What are we talking about? There's a reason why AIPAC doesn't see that as a race that they can fucking win, and doesn't see that as a race that they need to dump funds into. There's a TikTok hit campaign against AOC right now for being pro-genocide. I think that this is what this is coming from. No, AOC has made mistakes in terms of like dealing with this situation for sure. But the notion that she is like pro-genocide is just wrong. Okay? And they do vote on messaging bills that are sometimes shitty. Okay? That's it. They do. Glory to Turkey. Turkey a goal. Nice.
Her race thing.
Please Google Bolivia, big man. I'm going to fucking fly you to I'm going to fly you personally to Bolivia, okay? I'm going to fly you there. I'm going to ship your ass out there so you can stop the coup from happening. Do you understand? Shut the fuck up. I'm going to cover Bolivia in a little bit.
And God, she's incredible. I knew she was going to win. I'm next. And my election is June 25th, early voting June 15th. So we need everybody who's progressive, everybody who care about human rights, particularly people of color, particularly.
Why, when it's Joe, it's so easy to see the difference between his words and his actions, but when AOC makes mistakes, you give the benefit of the doubt? Because I've never heard Joe Brandon fucking say that there's a genocide going on, unless you are trying to serve the top of the hour ad break here with the stupidest fucking take I've ever heard in my entire life. Because at the top of the hour, there is a 3-minute ad break. But if you're equating Joe Biden to AOC, you are literally the craziest person on the fucking planet. Dude, you do it all the time? Do what all the time, dumbass? Nothing about the ad break? You are a fucking freak? Are you defending Joe Biden here? What's happening? Are you making a comparison between AOC and Joe Biden? Give AOC the benefit of the doubt? No, I'm very critical of AOC when she does things that I don't appreciate, when she does things that I recognize as wrong. Having said that, however, I look at the broad scope of the commentary of an elected representative and I match it against the fucking average take in Congress. AOC clears that unimaginably low bar by a wide fucking margin. If you personally, however, consider AOC's sentiment, like calling what Israel's doing a genocide 4 months ago at this fucking point, okay? If you're comparing that to Joe Biden, who is like personally invested in the continuation of this genocide, you have literal brainworms. Do you think Joe Biden has ever said what Israel is doing is genocide? What is happening? You have to be the most schizophrenic chatter if that is unironically your position. If Joe Biden personally said a fraction of what AOC has said in terms of Israel, I would literally be probably singing his fucking praises right now about how unimaginable of a peacekeeper he is. What are you talking about? Because that would also accompany actions. Okay? Anyway, I'm running the 3-minute ad break regardless. I thought I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Man button skinny jeans, thinking that he wasn't just like the most insane person I've ever encountered. Yeah, there wouldn't be a genocide because Israel can't do it without Biden using the power of his office to do the genocide. Exactly. It's crazy. Anyway, what have been her actions to stop anything that's happening? Wait, this person is both anti-Biden and anti-AOC and making a comparison between Biden and AOC, saying that they're identical? Is that what you're saying? As a congressperson from New York, she has obvious limitations to what she can do. In terms of within the boundaries of said limitations, she has done a decent amount of a decent amount in terms of bringing awareness, calling it a fucking genocide. Like, what are you talking about? Do you think that a congressperson that doesn't even have like a broad constituency, or not a broad constituency, but a broad coalition within the Democratic Party has the same level of power as the motherfucking president and the leader of the party? Do we need to do like, what? Okay, stop. Is that confusing? You think that more awareness needs to be spread? Who the fuck doesn't know about this? You know who fucking actually wants what Israel is doing to be called a genocide in Congress? Palestinians do. If a person doesn't know, they clearly aren't paying attention, and AOC might say it doesn't matter to them. Okay, brother. Yeah, I don't know what to fucking tell you about this. Okay. Radlev chatters look at the current U.S. Congress and go, you know who I fucking hate? AOC. She shouldn't be in Congress. Yeah, this is the same energy as like I have to suspect that this is like either genuine mental illness in display, or it has to be like someone deliberately engaging in wrecker behavior. Even though nowadays I feel like it's more mental illness because the wreckers are coming for free. The infiltrators and the wreckers do it on their own for free. I'm asking what she has done, actions she has or will take. Great fucking question, brother. She's actually personally going in to Tel Aviv to with a strap with a suicide vest, okay? That's what she's doing. Brother, in a society where the broad majority of Congress do not reflect the values of the citizenry in terms of Israel's ongoing ethnic cleansing campaign, because it is our most valuable ally in terms of like the bipartisan consensus in Congress, calling what Israel's doing genocide is unimaginably outside of the fucking barrier that I'm placing, like the low bar that I'm fucking putting out there, okay? Devolve into hyperbolic nonsense, that's clearly not what I mean. What are you talking about? Lesser of two evils is bullshit. It's not lesser of two evils. Morg Absolute, I already ran the 3-minute ad break. Stop trying to debate me with your tweet. Now you're fucking backtracking. Nah, the split going on between PYM and DSA is intensifying right now. I don't care, dude. I don't care about these fucking splits. I don't. Do you want to know why I don't care about these fucking splits? Because we are ultimately fucking powerless. And everyone needs to just shut the fuck up and do their very best.
Promptly suffering a major defeat.
I'm just going to skip this, dude. Okay. I'm going to skip the Jamaal Bowman Fox News article. Here's what Squirrel said. Also, this is very important to keep in mind, just so you don't get disillusioned or lose hope. This actually wasn't an ideal victory for AIPAC and the Israel and Zionist lobby. Yes, of course, they successfully destroyed Bowman, but they had to do it publicly and ostentatiously. They had to reveal themselves. Just 10 years before, they didn't. Any Bowmans that arose were quietly dealt with. No mass media smear campaigns, no flooding the district with clear AIPAC cash, thereby making it transparent for all to see what's going on. No, this shows their weakness, which is a testament to the power of those who are going to the streets and protesting and exposing their propaganda and lies on a mass scale. Yeah, not that long ago when Ilhan Omar said PAC money is what guides a lot of congressperson, people literally ate her up. The Democratic Party criticized her, said she was being anti-Semitic. Nowadays, AIPAC is a term that everybody fucking knows, okay? That's pretty huge. This isn't the ideal scenario for AIPAC. Meanwhile, bro won by like plus 20. This feels like cope. No, there is truth to this statement, which is that AIPAC and other lobbying groups, especially AIPAC being like a foreign lobbying organization, can't make obvious moves directly in broad fucking daylight. Okay? Because all of a sudden, more people are gonna be like, what the fuck? What's going on with this AIPAC funding, with this AIPAC money? Okay? They have to operate under the radar, especially because they are lobbying the federal government. They're lobbying Congress at the behest of a foreign nation. That's huge. Obviously, for the record, you guys know what AIPAC is because you've been in here for a very long time. I talk about this shit all the time, but like for the rest of the politics watchers, the normies, they don't fucking know what AIPAC is. They've never thought about that shit. So the more people know about AIPAC, the worse it gets for them. This isn't the ideal scenario for AIPAC and Barry Weiss and Jake Tapper and all those scumbag genocidal Zionist freaks pretending they're so happy now. No, they're scared to death. Oh my God, how did we ever let it get to this point that we have to publicly and openly buy elections now? That is what they're really thinking. That is our collective victory. I don't know if they're thinking that because they're stupid, but I would bet most of those ads, yeah, no, they didn't do it with AIPAC. They did it through a subsidiary called like the Democracy Fund or some shit. Of course, but it doesn't matter because enough people are covering this as a AIPAC funded, because it is what it is, an AIPAC funded race. Is a double-edged sword, as it will also incite even more anti-Semitic rhetoric of Jews controlling U.S. elections type beat. Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. Zionism does almost as much work as fucking straight-up Nazi fascists in terms of like creating anti-Semitic sentiment. 100%. Absolutely. Anyway, let's look at this fucking caveman. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, whom the International Criminal Court's chief prosecutor has requested arrest warrants against. Here's what he had to say.
We've been through dire times in these months of anguish war. And during that time, I can say that Israel has had no better friend than Senator John Fetterman. Senator, welcome to Israel. I want to thank you for your courageous statements that show moral clarity and moral courage. And you just say it the way it is.
Yeah, thank you so much, John Fetterman, for all of your bravery. It takes a brave man with genuine mental health issues, like genuinely a broken brain, to be able to defend Israel's, to dick ride Israel in its most apparent iteration of its genocide and apartheid.
And we appreciate this friendship at all times, but especially at these times. So welcome, friend. Welcome.
Well, we stand with Israel through this, and I'm so sorry for what's been done to this nation, but I'm just an honor to be here today.
Thank you. And I look forward to visiting you in Washington. Thank you. Thank you. We've been through dire times.
A guy who clearly has a good brain, okay? Don't ever say he has a bad brain. That would be a lie. He clearly has a good brain, a working one. Wow, they got the ogres from Sekiro to fight in the IDF. Oh my God, send him to the fucking front lines. Yeah, I did see Brace's tweet. Israel has constructed a golem. And they did. They did it. Yeah. Fetterman looks like me shaking my uncle while not wanting to be here. Anyway.
Bloomberg.
This is funny. Supreme Court accidentally posts what appears to be a draft of Idaho abortion decision.
Reports that the court accidentally posted a document on its website related to its Idaho abortion decision. Now, it's important. We do not know whether it's a draft, the actual decision, or neither, but it appears to show the justices are poised to allow abortions in medical emergencies in Idaho. But again, the court has not yet rendered its decision officially. NBC's Yamiche Sindor is reporting on this for us. I'm also joined by Paul Butler and legal professor Mary Ziegler. Yamiche, what more do we know?
Well, Chris, you said it. We are still sort of waiting to see exactly what's going to happen with this decision officially. But Bloomberg Law is reporting the U.S. Supreme Court is poised to allow abortions in medical emergencies in Idaho. Of course, this was a big case that we were watching. This is, of course, according to a copy of the opinion that was posted briefly on the court's website. Now, that being said, NBC News reached out to the Supreme Court. We were told that a decision has not yet been rendered by the court. It was obtained by Bloomberg Law, which said it was temporarily posted in error by the court. We do not know if this is a draft decision, the actual decision, or neither. NBC was also told the court's publications unit inadvertently and briefly uploaded a document to the court's website. That opinion, though, they were told has not been issued, and it will be issued in due course. So the Supreme Court is telling us there will be an issue in due course. That said, Bloomberg is reporting the decision would reinstate a lower court order that had ensured hospitals in the state could perform emergency abortions to protect the health of the mother. That's the big difference, because the issue here had been whether or not Idaho's law here was in contradiction to federal law. Idaho's law allows exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother, but the health of the mother, meaning whether or not she was going to be very sick, whether or not she might lose her future fertility, whether or not she might have to undergo a surgery where she might have a hysterectomy and not be able to have other children if she was denied an emergency abortion. So in this case, according to Bloomberg, they're saying that the Supreme Court is siding with the Biden administration, though we are still waiting to see what the official ruling will be. But this is a big case that we have been watching and waiting for. A number of women, of course, in Idaho, especially looking to see whether or not they're going to be able to have access to that emergency care, because the Biden administration is saying right now there are women who might go into an emergency room, need an emergency abortion because they are dealing with complications of pregnancy, and might be denied that because of this near total ban on abortion in Idaho.
Hey there, MSN.
Yeah, ultimately, what's going on, ultimately what's happening, what's unfolding is basically here's a senior writer for Slate, Mark Joseph Stern. This inadvertent early release, according to Bloomberg, suggests the Supreme Court will dismiss the EMTALA cases as improvidently granted. Bloomberg says the decision would restore
incredibly.
Sorry. The Supreme Court will dismiss it. Bloomberg says the decision would restore the district court decision, which had protected emergency abortions. If the Supreme Court does dismiss the EMTALA cases, it wouldn't offer a ruling on the merits, but merely allow for more proceedings in the lower courts. Such a move should not be misinterpreted as a decision in favor of patients' rights to undergo emergency abortions. They're passing the buck back down to the lower court system because they're probably worried about, Trump's reelection chances. As you know, the Supreme Court is obviously a political entity and absolutely operates on those boundaries. This is why I suspect that they made the domestic abuser decision as well, where they made a decision that was like pretty soft in terms of the domestic abusers not being able to fucking have weapons. It is because they want to, one, win back a little bit more influence and act like they are an impartial arbiter of justice and that they're seriously litigating these things. And also because they want to, they don't want to look like they don't want to hurt Trump's reelection chances. Okay. That's mainly the major reason. Okay. They're doing a little bit of PR. They're throwing a little bit of stake in the direction of the Democrats and the liberals. And they're more importantly doing this so that, Trump's reelection chances are not fucking absolutely devastated, because any kind of decision that is anti-abortion, which, by the way, some Republicans in the party still, especially at the state legislature level, are desperately trying to tank the Republican Party as aggressively as possible. It's Game of Thrones over there, okay? But the Supreme Court recognizes that, that's not okay. Alex Jones, lol. It's Alex Jones level conspiratorial thinking to say that the Supreme Court of the United States has always been a political entity, an instrument of whichever party dominates it in majority. What else is Alex Jones level conspiracy theories in your mind? Like saying things like money in politics obviously sways elections, or that, the American government has a bipartisan approach when it comes to funding the military and, whatever foreign policy goals that we have. Do you have any other good ones? Classic lull user, by the way, every time. Like you think that is akin to claiming that the statements that I made, the factually accurate statements that I made, instead of addressing the veracity of it, you decided to compare it to like a guy who fucking says school shootings are fake? That's really just cutting edge commentary from my naysayers, man. It's awesome. You sound like Alex Jones, bro. Yes, of course I sound like Alex Jones, because you're a fucking baboon. Like, yeah, you're stupid. Of course, to a stupid person who fancies themselves to be a fucking liberal centrist, yeah, obviously I'm going to sound like I'm conspiratorial. That's not my fault. Read a fucking book. Yeah, I'm just laughing. Lol, I'm laughing. Yeah, it must be a conspiracy that institutional trust in the Supreme Court is at its lowest fucking levels as a direct consequence of the Roe v. Wade decision and many other decisions that came that were like unimaginably undemocratic, with very little justifications, very little legal constitutional justifications for it. Specifically, in terms of all of the latest appointees openly lying, that and also all the fucking money that they get that they haven't disclosed. Yeah, it's I must be an Alex Jones level conspiracist for saying that there is very little institutional trust in the Supreme Court. In order for the Supreme Court not to be fucking like dramatically overthrown or whatever, they need to maintain this level of impartiality. And as a consequence of that, they have to fucking make certain decisions. By the way, you know what's really funny about the Alex Jones take? That's not just my approach to it. Here is Agnes Williams, sequencentennial professor of law and politics at Georgetown Law, author of Congress's Constitution, saying this exact same thing. Republicans on the court probably doing their party a solid by not paring back abortion rights 4 months before the general election. Also not enraging their coalition by striking down the Idaho law. Yes, dude, because you are a donkey in your mind, of course it sounds like a conspiracy theory. You are too stupid to recognize and parse through factually accurate statements. And then, you know, analysis that comes after solid premises. Yeah, that chatter is hitting the fucking lull. Oh. He's bad faith and lull, cowing, brain dead. He probably doesn't even care about politics at all. Yeah. You really undermine your argument when you yell. What do you mean? How did I undermine the argument? Yeah. You mean those who write the rules don't follow them? Yeah, Hassan, the Supreme Court justices are all earnest and objective and the Federalist Society doesn't exist. Yeah, wait till you find out about like you know, the originalists. All right. Anyway, Biden pardoned LGBTQ plus service members as whatever, who gives a shit. Let's take a look at the debate.
Start with video debuting here on Inside Politics. You're looking at the debate stage at CNN's headquarters in Atlanta, where Joe Biden and Donald Trump will stand tomorrow night, just 8 feet apart. This is where the event that may define this entire presidential race will take place. There will be no audience. And here are the podiums. Biden will be on the right, Trump on the left, and Biden won a coin flip to pick which side he wanted. And this is where Dana Bash and Jake Tapper will sit as they moderate the 90-minute debate. And CNN's Jeff Zeleny is in Atlanta.
Are you going to talk about Bolivia? No, I'm holding that conversation hostage because I secretly am a CIA agent who doesn't want to cover the truth about Bolivia and the coup that's going on in Bolivia. And not because it's a fucking breaking news story from a foreign country that, like, I don't have enough information on. And I fear that it would be, I mean, I don't know, a little irresponsible of me to fucking react to that. When breaking news is occurring in fucking Israel, it's a little different than breaking news of another coup in Bolivia. Okay?
Atlanta, of course, getting ready for the big night. So, Jeff, the stage, as you see there, literally set. It's almost go time. What are you hearing?
Manu, the stage is set and a history-making one indeed, but the history books have little guidance for what we are going to see tomorrow evening. The 45th and 46th presidents of the United States making their case to the American voters and indeed a global audience for why they believe they deserve a second term in office. Of course, so much has changed since the last time the two men were in the same room together on the debate stage 4 years ago this fall. Of course, there is the invasion of Ukraine, war in the Middle East, here at home, of course, inflation front and center. Voters, of course, will have their eyes on all of this. We know that President Biden has been hunkered down at Camp David, taking debate preparations very seriously. Donald Trump also taking debate preparations more seriously.
This is going to be the lamest debate in American history and will probably cause millions of Americans to lose hope in the American project. I mean, neither of these candidates look good on camera, off camera. It's not going to be great. Okay. We'll talk about the Bolivian coup in a second after this coverage. I don't know who the fuck would have hope at this stage for American democracy and its prospects because shit is not looking good regardless. But, oh, fuck. Did I forget to order? Damn it. I still don't think it'll happen. Last minute cancellation? No. That's crazy.
Seriously than he may have been letting on. Also trying to expectations set along the way. We've been talking with some voters who, of course, are going to be tuning into this. It's also in battleground Georgia, a key battleground state that Donald Trump narrowly lost to Joe Biden 4 years ago. Kelvin King is a conservative Republican, a longtime leader here. He said he has his eye on this.
It's not just, you know, a president's perspective or a president's perspective versus a prior president's perspective. That's not what this debate is about. We're looking at all types of things from, you know, the physical characteristics, the movements, the pace, the types of word, the grammar. Like we're paying attention to every nuance of this debate. Oh, and also policy too.
Also policy too, of course. Policy will be front and center, and they are very distinctive. But it is the style and substance and how these two presidents come across that certainly could change the trajectory of this race. So here in battleground Georgia and other battlegrounds across the country and indeed the entire country, voters will be tuning into certainly the biggest moment of this presidential race so far.
No question about it. Jeff Zeleny from Atlanta. Thanks for that. And I want to turn now to CNN's Arlette Saenz, who is live at the White House. And Arlette, you have some new reporting on how Team Biden wants to pay Trump tomorrow night.
Yeah, Manu, you know, President Biden remains at Camp David preparing for this debate, and you just showed images of that debate stage. The stagecraft of this debate will be so important for Biden, and that is something that they are running through as these mock debates have played out. He is preparing standing at a podium. He has watched a video that a staffer had taken of a walkthrough to identify different areas of the debate. So he knows where the cameras are, so he knows where the moderators are, all as he's trying to make his arguments against Trump. Now, the president is fine-tuning the messages and the contrast he wants to draw with Trump on that debate stage. Advisors believe and hope that domestic issues will really define this debate and the upcoming election. Things like democracy, economy, and abortion rights. But they also are cognizant that foreign policy could emerge at this debate, and that is one area where they believe they can draw a stark contrast with Trump.
Let's bring in our great group of reporters to break this all down. CNN's Elena Train, CNN's Isaac Dover, Leanne Caldwell of The Washington Post, and Zolan Kano-Youngs of The New York Times. Nice to see you all. Yeah. Elena, you've been talking a lot to the Trump campaign about this strategy, trying to pivot back to immigration, talk about the economy, talk about crime. Do they really think Trump can do that?
Well, I'll put it this way. Anyone who argues they know which version of Donald Trump you're going to get on the debate stage tomorrow is lying. Even Donald Trump's advisors admit that, look, we want to push him toward talking about kitchen table issues. We don't want him to focus on his grievances. We want him to talk about those three topics: the economy, crime, the border.
There's not multiple versions of Donald Trump. There's multiple versions of Joe Biden. There's sleepy Joe Biden. And then there's like State of the Union Joe Biden, which is still sleepy Joe Biden, but at least he's like on a decent amount of drugs. Trump is always on the same tip. He's going to do grievances and he's going to hammer Joe. He might even call him Genocide Joe. Probably not. He got that fucking Miriam Adelson money. That'd be so funny. He's going to say illegals are pouring in because of you. And then he's going to fucking say that you have so many wars and these wars would never happen under my, under my watch. He's going to say that inflation is out of control. Everything is so expensive. Things were fucking phenomenal under my watch. Joe Biden is going to retort with, you did January 6th, and that was terrifying. You want to kill democracy. You want to be a dictator. Donald Trump is going to say January 6th was fake or some shit. He's going to say something unhinged about January 6th, and then the media will run with that as though it is like the most significant, most consequential thing that anyone's ever said, even though like most people have no fucking care or consideration for January 6th, no matter how hard MSNBC and CNN try to hit that line. Yeah, they're both going to dick ride Israel. They're going to be hopping on Israel's dick. They're going to be doing tricks on Israel's dick. I'd be shocked if either of them say anything remotely critical of Israel. They both agree. Yeah. Trump will literally be like, Hamas would have never attacked if I was president. I did everything I could to destroy Iran, and then you gave them billions of dollars. I think the real interest on this debate is not what Trump will do. Trump will do what he has been doing. He is very predictable. The real interesting part of this conversation is how Joe Biden will keep up. Will he consistently stay on topic? Will he talk about abortion? Or will they actually do this stupid ass fucking January 6th bullshit over and over again? Do you think he'll mention Project 2025? No, dude. What? Absolutely. Dude, that's such a TikTok ass take. Yeah, Joe Biden is going to fucking bring up a Republican think tank project. No, he's going to, yeah, Project 2025 is like very TikTok, very Reddit. No Democratic Party operative will ever fucking bring that shit up or talk about it. Could be good for them to talk about it, by the way, for, their re-election chances, but that's probably why they won't talk about it.
Order, all things Donald Trump is pulling better than Joe Biden in for the most part, and all the issues they think that he will do well on come November. However, they also recognize that it really does depend on some of the answers, how Donald Trump is feeling in the room. He obviously likes to meander and can, depending on what Biden says, react in a certain way. We might see some meanness come out. However, I will also add that, you know, it's interesting. In some of my conversations with Trump's advisors, initially when they got the rules for the CNN debates, where you're going to be able to shut off the mics, they're going to be turning the mics off, as well as having no audience, there was skepticism around that. Now, in recent days, I've actually been told that they think those rules may actually help Donald Trump. One is with the mics. We remember back in 2020 on that first debate that they had between Biden and Trump, Donald Trump repeatedly talked over Joe Biden, wouldn't let him get a word in at some points, and we saw Donald Trump fall in the polls shortly after that. It's something Trump himself remarked on the other day. With the audience, he also likes to feed off a crowd. And so some of his advisors and people close to Trump have argued, you know, maybe without the audience, it can actually help him stay on message.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what the discussion has also been about behind the scenes, how to try to rein in some of that rhetoric and make sure he's in the right place so that he does a good job on the debate stage.
You know, with those podiums are 8 feet apart, I'm sure, you know, they're muted. Perhaps if someone's speaking loudly, it could be picked up on someone else's mic. What do you think? What are you hearing from the Biden team about if Trump does not go down the path of what he attempts to do, petty grievances or trying to talk over and tries to be more sober-minded and turns to immigration, to the economy, to crime? How will Biden deal with that?
Well, Biden's going to try to rile him up, clearly, and push him to defend some of the positions that he's taken on these things, while contrasting it to his record and saying, I'm the sober, competent one. You're the one who had all these wild things go on while you were president, or proposing even more wild things now. But this is a tricky thing for Joe Biden. You know, we, for all the fanfare about the debate, all the prep.
I love that they have the fucking countdown, like presidential debate in 32 hours, 51 minutes, and 0 seconds.
Preparations, everything. Standing up there on stage, even though Joe Biden has debated a lot of times before, and he's debated Donald Trump twice before.
Shit's going down in Bolivia. As of now, shit is no longer going down in Bolivia. It seems like shit has actually officially gone down, and we're in the aftermath of the shit going down. I've been monitoring the situation in Bolivia. I'm going to talk about it. Everybody needs to fucking calm down, okay? I don't know why.
In 2020, after that first debate, which was intense, if we remember, even before we knew that Trump had COVID, Biden walked off stage, and what he said to his aides, the first thing he said is, that was embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt bad about being in the middle of such a mess of a debate. He was saying I couldn't get a word in, and talked about how he thought he had done badly and had to be reassured by aides that actually most people thought.
Here, let's hear it from Telesur. Let's see what the fuck's going
in the
on.
service of the people. Thank you very much. Action against the democracy of the people.
This happened amid a full room of people who showed their support to the president to defend the stability of the country, and likewise will respect the authority of the government and the state of Bolivia. We are still seeing live images, live from La Casa del Pueblo. One of the chiefs that have been newly appointed is set to offer statements.
Of the Armed Forces, Vice President, distinguished authorities, Administrator, High Command of the Army, public that is here, the press, ladies and gentlemen, post of the commander of the army, of the Bolivian army. It's a responsibility that is falling on us. So we appreciate to our brother president, to our brother Minister of Defense and the High Command to trust us. This is a very special situation because nobody desires to see the image that we're looking at in the streets. Nobody. That is why, in my condition of General Commander of the Army and in representation of the 3 commanders of the forces, I ask, order, I say, that all the personnel that is mobilized in the streets should return to their units.
The military mobilized in an irregular manner. They stormed the fucking presidential palace. Evo Morales called on the people to fucking plant a popular resistance against this illegal coup. And After Luis Arce changed command of the armed forces, the new army commander ordered all soldiers involved in the coup to attempt to return to their barracks. Is America behind this? I don't know. But here's what was going on. Bolivia's General Zuniga says there will be a new government cabinet. For now, we recognize President Arce as commander of chief of arms. This, that's what happened earlier. And the military basically fucking went in to the government palace. The people mobilized against it. They had tanks, they had armed forces. Evo Morales called for an urgent popular mobilization as they anticipate army forces advancing plans for a coup. It seems like as of now, it has subsided.
Hello, everyone. So straight to the point, there is presently an ongoing, very serious military coup attempt in Bolivia. It has been denounced as a coup attempt by the vice president in a statement that he made on Twitter, and the president himself has denounced unauthorized military mobilizations in La Paz, the administrative capital of the country. The context for this is that yesterday, Jose Zuniga, the commander of the Bolivian armed forces, made a statement to the media where he said that he may order the military to arrest ex-president Evo Morales if he runs in the MAS party presidential primaries next year. Evo Morales running for president again is something that would be completely legal, so this statement cannot even be spun as just the military trying to enforce the law or anything. It was quite simply the chief of the armed forces declaring his possible intent to interfere in democracy if things don't go the way that he likes. So President Luis Arce, who is currently in something of a conflict with Evo Morales for the MAS party's presidential candidacy next year, nonetheless immediately fired Zuniga, because obviously in Bolivia, the military are not allowed to intervene in civil matters like that. And in response, it appears that the ex-military chief has ordered troops loyal to him to attempt a coup against the democratically elected government of Bolivia. And this is very, very serious. There are troops everywhere. The government is not mincing words on this. Quite simply, it is a coup attempt directed at the fact that they do not want to allow the possibility that Evo Morales could run in the upcoming Bolivian elections next year and win. Zuniga has announced in a statement to the media that he will form a new cabinet and that Luis Arce remains the president for the moment. Now, he obviously does not legally have any sort of authority to dictate these things, but he's also the one who is currently occupying some of the most important strategic locations in the country with armed troops. So perhaps what he says will nonetheless go. But this is still a developing story, and yeah, by the time you watch this, things may have changed, but I just wanted to get this out as soon as possible.
Striking photo of President Arce directly confronting the coup leaders face to face. Bolivia's president directly confronting the general who just took over the presidential palace. Yeah, I mean, look, this has happened before. I don't know. The internal conflict, the potential internal conflict between Bolivia's current president, Evo Morales, makes it a little bit more questionable. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. This is why I didn't want to cover it, because I just don't know who stands to gain the most.
Just to inform people that this is happening, because as is kind of usual, I will probably be reporting on this before.
Like, look at this. Even far-right leader Camacho condemns the Bolivian coup attempt. Consensus seems to be this is a rogue group of the military and there's no real political sector backing it, at least publicly. Condemnation from former Santa Cruz Governor Ruben Costas, another longtime opponent of the MAS. Janine Áñez, what? Janine Áñez also condemned it? She's like, listen, that's our shit. No, I don't know if this is CIA. It's probably not, because as much as, yeah, dude, that's so funny. When you got the former coup leaders, fucking being like, yo, chill. That's pretty funny. Here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. Who knows? Okay. I don't fucking know. But if it was CIA, there are some telltale signs. Okay. Telltale signs that this might be a CIA-backed coup attempt would be having like a Chamber of Commerce representative immediately come in as a placeholder in the interim government, or like actually having a clear cut, not ahead of time because you're like afraid that Evo Morales might run again, but instead you want to directly undermine the current existing leadership and then immediately put another person in power. Now, having said all of that, it's still CIA-backed coups still fail from time to time. It failed in Venezuela, as you guys remember, back in the day during the Chavez regime. But the American government would come out and immediately recognize the new leadership. That's another telltale sign. That's another classic. None of those things happened. So I don't know. I don't know what this is about. Per the Constitution, Morales himself put in place, he shouldn't be allowed to run in office in the first place, as he was already president twice. Constitution hard limit after said Constitution was put in place, 3 total. Yeah, I don't care. Like I personally don't give a shit, for the record. Yeah. Just so you know, just so everybody understands, I don't give a fuck. If you were to ask me, FDR should have stayed in fucking power too. Let that motherfucker run the country for, let that motherfucker run the country permanently. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I mean, he did, but he died. No, but I mean, like, even he did, he just died. That's all. No, but there were questions into like his re-election considerations. He should make him God King, keep him alive. FDR's dead body 2024. Socialist who likes FDR, funny. Yeah, because I'm a political realist, especially in terms of like the American government. Yeah, they should have fucking embalmed him like Lenin and propped his ass up. We have a fucking cadaver currently in office. I'm just saying. Yes, for white worker elites, he was great. Bro, I love that you questioned my socialist cred and then said white worker elites. As in like, yeah, like working class, but elite? Like what are you saying? Like what? FDR, a statue of FDR in every town square? Yes. How could a socialist support a president who capitulated the workers' demands so he could defeat Nazis? Yeah, I know. It's really fucked up of me. Labor aristocracy, you know it. I know. You're right. FDR should have instead had a permanent international revolution for the proletariat across the board. Like, come on, brother. Like, obviously, he wasn't a fucking socialist. I've never said that he was. But at least he capitulated to the demands of workers, trade unionists, and socialists alike. Maybe he did that because he wanted to preserve the liberal American democracy in air quotes. But ultimately, I'm not going to fucking shit on a dude that like the fascist business owners wanted to execute. Okay? And yes, you are right. The New Deal did exclude black workers for sure. That is not wrong. That is absolutely objectively correct. You know, there are definitely things that FDR did that weren't great. But ultimately, he is one of the better American presidents. Anyway, he said labor aristocracy, dude. That's so funny. Yeah, it was a real labor aristocracy move to fucking fight against Nazi Germany. He should have been caring about instead of going to war, instead of doing World War II, what these motherfuckers should be worried about was like I don't know, arming the Maoist rebellion in the Philippines or something. No, FDR was a Maoist. Don't ask how. Yeah, pre-Maoist Maoism. Oh shit. Hold on. Bolivia doesn't have oil, does it? No, it has lithium. Social Security, 40-hour work week, end the child labor aristocracy. Yeah, those children were a part of the labor aristocracy. He defeated them. Fuck! God, I fucking hate my goddamn gate. It's so fucking slow. Holy shit. Come on. He made children lazy by ripping them out of the mines. Yeah. 1% problems. Yeah, dude. Famously, only 1% have only 1%ers live in apartments where they have like a ring, the fuck. Anyway, interesting stuff in Bolivia.
Or it even arrives to the mainstream Western media, who will probably also not give this story the sort of front page title treatment that it really deserves. Anyway, see you and pay attention to this because
another Philly D Thumbo for the boys.
The internet exploded.
Oh, I did it. I made it to another Philly D Thumbo. Let's go.
Doc tweeted. Oh boy, here we go.
He admitted it, bro, on Twitter. He admitted it on Twitter, bro. He was like, yeah, I was DMing minors. Yeah, it was inappropriate. I was like, what?
Guaranteed half your age. Just, that's crazy to say. It's guaranteed.
This was a secret more guarded than the Krabby Patty formula. I really thought we'd never know the reason that Dr. Disrespect was banned. I thought that'd be taken to the grave. I thought we'd
What is this, doc related? It's funny that he's getting hair plugs while also he's restoring his hairline while watching Asmund bald. That
Okay, like, yeah, that was the joke, you stupid cock ass.
Bro, what happened? Did they fucking take the hair out of his eyebrows to plug his hairline? Like, what the fuck's going on? Yo, that shit still looks busted. What is happening, big dog? Off, man. It's funny. Did they take the hair from his eyebrows? What is happening here? Should have gone to Turkey, bro. Big L. Big. You showed up in this comic too. You literally made this comic yourself. Knuckles. Or no, maybe you didn't. What? Ancient Greek Twitch boy? No, I need to shake his hand. The queer pounder. Can you please stop whispering in my ear? Make the rich gay. I do say make the rich gay. It's true.
Track faster than light
Hold
travel
on, I
before
gotta
we
grab
ever
something.
learned what the reason behind it was.
Because like we talked about yesterday, Dr. Disrespect, aka Guy Beam, released a statement. And for all the details there, if you've missed all that, I'll link to yesterday's story. But the story around this right now can kind of be broken into 3 different categories. 1, people saying if this situation was serious enough for Twitch to end their relationship with Doc, why are we just now hearing about it now and he's continued to be in the space? 2, updates specifically around Guy Beam and those connected to him. Like I was seeing in the news today that the 49ers have cut ties with him. And 3, there's been a lot of talk about how those in the community have reacted. You know, there having been a lot of focus on those who were defending him earlier in the week, with creators like Nick Merckx getting a lot of that spotlight with him saying yesterday.
Look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, right? Look, the boys and I are torn up over it too, man, because we played a lot of games with the guy and it feels a little weird, but what can you do?
And then saying in a stream today,
yeah, he edited the tweet 3 times. Just so bad. It's so bad, you guys. It's so bad. And look, what do you want from me, man? You know, I gave the guy the benefit of the doubt until we knew more. So to act like I don't care or act like I'm not upset about the shit he did is crazy. You just have to remember that he was a friend of mine. So obviously I'm going to behave a little bit differently. I got some weird, attachments to this. You know, I do. He was a friend.
My controversial opinion is that this Nick Merckx takes is actually very fucking reasonable. Like, you know, unlike his takes on trans people, this take is like unimaginably reasonable. He's like, yeah, this is fucking ridiculous. Of course, like what he did is unacceptable, but like I'm his fucking friend. So of course I was, once again, you're being too kind to freaks. Dude, I literally spent like the first 30 minutes shitting on him for his fucking transphobic psychopathic takes. Okay. I also did that specifically with Felix last time he was here.
People think that we're like best friends, like we're hanging out. I don't even know the guy outside of a wig. We took one picture together, and newsflash, he was in a wig, and we talked for 8 minutes. Now, I don't want to dumb down a relationship.
Meanwhile, you had a lot of creators making Chris Hansen To Catch a Predator references.
He is doing the Chris Hansen pedophile defense, by the way.
Like, if any of you have watched To Catch a Predator, you'll recognize that tactic, that little maneuver right there.
He said they did not meet up. He had no intentions. You can take that however you want to. To me, it sounds like what every guy who got caught on To Catch a Predator said, to be honest.
Now, Doc, I'm going to need you to have a seat right over there.
Though also with all this, you have a lot of people still pushing for more information to come out, right? People wanting to see what was in the actual chat logs or the whisper logs. Others also wanting to know the specific age of the person the doc was saying these things to. Because depending on where you go online, there are people just kind of throwing out all these different ages. So notably, all of them under the age of 18.
Like, did Doc know the age of the person he was talking to when he was talking to them?
If he knew that was a minor and those were the messages being sent, I cannot support that.
Now, like, if he had no idea that it happened and like he didn't know this person was a minor, like, yeah, he's still an idiot for doing it for sure, but like it takes like the bad scale.
Why would he not mention that? Like, that is the number one thing you would mention. If he literally didn't know the age of the person, then yeah, of course he would mention that in his defense, bro. He literally said, personally, I fucking messaged inappropriately a minor. You think you wouldn't launch a defense against that immediately by being like, yeah, but I had no fucking idea how old she was. And that's precisely when I stopped the conversation, when I found out. I just don't understand how you can even say this. Like, genuinely. Y'all seriously watch Dr. Respect? Yeah, that's the new guy. Dr. Respect. This was before the tweet? No, it wasn't. All of these statements are post the tweet.
From like, I don't know, Like it takes it down a number of notches to me.
Now, what's not clear and what a lot of people are coping with is that maybe Dr. Disrespect didn't know the age of the person he was communicating with. But I truly feel if that was the case, Dr. Disrespect would have mentioned that, saying that he had those communications with this person that he believed was of age but turned out to be a minor.
You know, ultimately, that is where we are with this, as all of this continues to play out both in the court of public opinion and as others wait to see if more information could be coming. And then we need to talk about Georgia State Trooper. Right, so that is how long it took Georgia State Trooper Jake Thompson to shoot unarmed 60-year-old.
What? Maybe Doc was tricked about the age? Wait, no, he wasn't. There is no maybes there, brother. What are you talking about? Brother, if there was a maybe there, he would have fucking stated it. You're crazy. You're so crazy. You probably think that at the top of the hour there isn't a 3-minute ad break. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, by the way, we were just talking about the Bolivian coup, and obviously I have to mention Elon Musk. Megaphonics don't bust a fucking load, especially not at the top of the fucking hour when there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully that shit is me. Okay. Here is the 3-minute ad break now. Elon Musk famously once said, another government stimulus package is not the best interest of the people, in my opinion. You know what wasn't in the best interest of the people? The U.S. government organizing a coup against Evo Morales in Bolivia so you could obtain the lithium there. We will coup whoever we want. Deal with it. Now, he said that. You know what else he said, though? The people were promised Felix. The people demand Felix. Shut the fuck up, dude. Okay? Felix is going to get here when he feels like it. And he's supposed to get here around 3. Suck my fucking dick. Like, what do you mean? Well, what is this? Shut up. Stop complaining. He's coming. Anyway, Elon Musk, once again, the defender of CSAM, child sexual abuse material, an account was suspended. Visegrad24, the fascist Polish account. Okay. And Elon Musk was asked about being fucking this account being banned, and he responded. Okay, he posted a picture of that poor kid in Afghanistan being sodomized with a stick, which triggered an automatic child exploitation suspension. Account will be restored soon. This is now not the first, but the second, and perhaps won't be the last time Elon Musk has personally unbanned an account posting child sexual abuse material. It's weird that it's happened twice. Very weird. Anyway. Same thing Iron Man would have done. Oh, for sure. All right, let's get back to the fucking CNN presidential debate stage.
Trump had done badly.
Yeah, I mean, and Biden, perhaps Trump always ridicules people for being low energy, but he may need to be low. Being low energy for him this time, maybe what his team wants him to do.
Yeah, it worked in that first debate in 2020, actually. Yeah, this is obviously going to be high stakes for both of them. The Biden campaign is very well aware that this is an opportunity where a large swath of Americans are actually going to see them together for the first time in 4 years, perhaps potentially now just paying attention to what is going on. But everything that Trump is doing leading into the debate has been quite predictable. It's the same tactics that he used in 2020 and 2016. I was speaking to a person close to him yesterday and said, none of this is shocking. This is the exact playbook about attacking the moderators or saying that Joe Biden is going to have to be on drugs. He did that in 2020. He did it in 2016 with Hillary Clinton as well. And so it's an attempt, a strategy to discredit the entire process should he not do well.
Speaking of discrediting the process, before you jump in, Zolan, about the unsubstantiated claims that Joe Biden will be full of drugs come Thursday. That is what Trump and his allies have been saying across the airwaves over the last several days.
Bro.
I expect he's going to be up on energy drinks or whatever.
Bro, come on. Like, saying that Joe Biden's going to be hopped up on some shit is not that ridiculous, dude. CNN. Like, I get it. You can't say that, I guess. But, like, these are unsubstantiated rumors. How dare he say that? Like, really? Like, what president isn't on some shit?
Where they're going to give him. And he did. He was overly aggressive at the State of the Union. He jumped right over the introduction because he was so hyped up.
Yeah, bro. They're going to fucking put Trump on a stack, too. Like, let's be real. That's the Sudi boy himself. He gets that good British Sudafed.
Expect that's the Joe we'll see at the debate.
Many of the doctors in Congress felt that he was on some type of stimulant, whether it was Ritalin or steroids or something else. So we anticipate that for this first debate, he will be on something.
He's, probably going to be filled with Adderall like he was at the night of the State of the Union.
Again, there's no evidence at all about any of this. And even, Mariette Miller Meeks, who's a swing district Republican, going as far as saying, oh, these are the doctors believe he was on something in the State of the Union.
We're seeing a little bit of a shift here, too, when it comes to the messaging here. I mean, it wasn't too long ago that I remember former President Trump saying that Joe Biden was the worst debater. Now we're hearing, oh, he might be on stimulants, again, without any evidence. We're hearing he might.
Yeah, because it's dumb as fuck to, literally allow your debate opponent to have the lowest bar possible right before a debate. To be fair, though, Republicans are that fucking stupid. And they were doing that. And then they realized, oh shit, the State of the Union, we set the bar so low and we made fun of Joe Biden before he actually performed. And then everybody's expectations were so low of Joe Biden that he actually cleared that low ass bar.
Might be a worthy debater. It seems like as we're getting closer to this actual debate, we are starting, one consequence of these statements is you're starting to see the bar lowered a little bit, as well with, some of the kind of misleading videos we've seen on social media as well of Biden, as particularly at the G7.
Come on,
you have
bro.
to wonder if there.
Oh my God, those videos are, oh my Lord. Okay.
There's anxiety as well when it comes to the Trump camp and Republicans that the bar has now been lowered as well for President Biden, particularly here as you see this shifting message.
But this is one of these things where we say, oh, it's unsubstantiated. They're saying without evidence. They're not. They're just making it up.
Yeah.
They're saying it's not.
It's red meat to the base.
This is not like some belief that they have, like maybe they'll be a movie star one day, right? This is made up, and it's made up with an intention. Look, in 2020, remember there was the whole thing, was Biden wearing some kind of listening device that was feeding him, they were looking at the creases in his shirt. It was the rosary that his late son Bo wore. Like you said, the drug stuff has come up before. This is intentional, and it's to make it part of the conversation. But that Mariette Miller Meeks, she's a doctor.
Yeah.
And doctors usually don't diagnose without examining the
by
patient.
Sitting in the audience and saying, wait a second, maybe he was. Yes, that's typically not what you do as a doctor.
I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
Will you shut up, man? Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
You're the worst president America has ever had.
Graduated last in your class, not first.
Bro, he doesn't have this fucking smoke 4 years later, by the way, which is kind of wild. And he was old as shit back then, too. Bro was old as shit even then.
Keep yapping, man. The people understand, Joe.
That's extraordinary. It's extraordinary to think that 73 million people were watching that and hoping to get some answers about which way they should vote come November.
It's Tuesday, the 29th of September, 2020, and Donald Trump is about to face off against his Democratic rival, Joe Biden. The debate takes place in Cleveland, Ohio, with just 5 weeks left until Election Day, and Donald Trump is trailing in the polls. There are accusations that he's mishandled the coronavirus pandemic, which up to this point has cost the lives of more than 200,000 Americans.
Someone actually brought something really interesting up. It's a little bit of a lib take, but the fact that Trump didn't visibly age during his tenure shows how much he cared. Not a lot. I kind of agree with you. Am I crazy? I feel like you watched Obama perish. You watch every president literally in the 4-year sequence in the first 4 years, genuinely become tarnished, right? You watch the soul get sucked out of them. Donald Trump, on the other hand, he was just kind of chilling, dude. What is that? Compare 2015 to 2020 night and day? Maybe. Hit me with the old ass video, chat. Give me an old video from 2015, 2016.
Damn, this guy's good.